Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hand of Glory walkthrough. Now we are in our apartment and let's check the notebook. I need more info and the morning newscast should begin airing shortly. Before leaving home, I also need to retrieve my cell phone. So let's try to open the TV. Of course it won't
That
work.
TV had every possible function, including toasting bread, but not a bloody damn power button. I needed the remote control if I wanted to turn it on.
And we can see it here in the trolley. Let's look at it.
A glass holder trolley that actually looked like a toilet with a pair of wheels. What the hell was my remote control doing in there?
And let's take it and use it on the TV.
The TV didn't turn on. The batteries were probably dead, and the closest retailer was half an hour away by foot. Damn batteries. There must be some way to give you even a little boost.
Let's take the magnet from the fridge.
It kept the device thermostat held in position. Removing it would drop the temperature as low as it could go. But, alright, I rarely ate the junk food in my fridge anyway.
So the temperature is very low now. Let's look at the bed.
The last time I made up my bed, America was still at war with Great Britain. I kept Bobby, my stuffed bear, underneath. He protected me from my nightmares.
And he's saying the truth.
Bobby was down there for a reason. To protect me from nightmares. I'd remove it only in case of extreme need.
Anyway, let's check the nightstand.
The cell phone was inside the nightstand, comfortably resting in the underwear drawer. When I bent down to pick it up, I found myself looking at my parents' photograph. Mom and Dad, on holidays in Greece during their honeymoon. Dad with his typical sly look, Mom with an unlikely 80s rock star hairstyle. We always used to make fun of her for that juvenile look. How long had it been since I left Italy? And them. Looking at that photo always left me with a sour taste in my mouth, but that wasn't the right time to get lost in memories. I had a cell phone to retrieve and an investigation to continue. The night before, I'd even been able to deactivate that paid weather service. I could finally use the phone to do what it was designed for, making phone calls.
Now let's use the remote control with the fridge.
I read somewhere once that a dead battery could regain a small amount of energy in an extremely cold environment. Could it be true, this story of batteries recharging in the cold? Hey, maybe that's what igloos are. Huge batteries shaped like houses. Oh, that would explain why Eskimos wear gloves, to prevent electric shocks. It was time to discover if my limited physics knowledge would help me or not.
And let's see if it worked. Let's use it on the TV.
The house of famous tycoon Kathrin Mulzberg, where an attempted break-in was reported last night. No statement has been released either from the police or the family, so the specifics of the offense are still shrouded in mystery. The only detail that has been leaked so far is some strange graffiti drawn on the front of the mansion, probably left by the same individual or group that attempted the late-night illegal entry. As you can see behind me, the symbol appears to have been applied using an enormous quantity of blood, perhaps of a human nature. We await confirmation on the origin of the liquid, with hopes that it isn't the blood of young Kathrin Mulzberg. Stay tuned to this network for further developments. From Gwendolyn Pratt, back to you in the newsroom.
That symbol on the wall. I saw it even before that swine of a hack opened her mouth. It was identical to the seal on the letter I'd just received. I had no doubt anymore. Blowtorch was pulling out all the stops to finish our challenge in style. I toyed with the idea of contacting Burton to bring him up to speed on the situation, but I scrapped that thought. If I could close the case myself, my superiors would be forced to reinstate me into the department. Was it really worth the risk of falling straight into a trap? Or was I kidding? I was never the kind of man to back down from a challenge, no matter how dangerous it may be. It was high time to let the world see what I was worth. I wouldn't be remembered as the detective that let one of the worst serial killers in the history of Miami slip away.
So let's exit the apartment.
The thing to do next was retrieve Green Dart, just in case I needed to race off in pursuit of Ramos. My beloved bike had been left at the HPD the night before. To recover it, a long walk awaited me. Hey Richie, how's it going?
Hello, Lazarus.
Richard, we've been neighbors for 5 years now. What do you think about finally calling me Lars?
I like the sound of Lazarus.
There's something magnetic about it, don't you think?
Speaking of magnetism, do you still have that magnet I loaned you?
Yeah, well, you know, it's complicated.
What do you mean by complicated? You didn't lose it, did you?
No, not lost, no. I used it in a secret mission.
My magnet. In a secret mission.
Very, very secret. So secret I can't tell you anything about it.
Well, do me a favor and get it back to me as soon as possible. It's a fond family memory.
And that's what it would remain for poor Richard. A memory. Any good news in the mailbox?
Once you could find love letters inside. Now it's just bills and a mountain of advertising. Do you even read the advertisements they send you?
No, I just use it to ignite the coal at the barbecues with my colleagues. See you soon, Richie.
Sure, at next Sunday's residence meeting. You'll come, right?
I have a previously scheduled engagement.
Sorry, did I say Sunday? I meant Saturday.
Even worse, I have to attend a funeral.
Oh, too bad. Then my condolences.
The only one who'd die would be me if I went to another one of those stupid meetings. Of boredom.
So let's exit the building and go to the headquarters.
I found a very bad surprise waiting for me outside the office. Those idiots in the department had pierced the tire of my beloved Green Dart. Furthermore, the bike was locked to the streetlight with its chain. We, though, probably had the keys, but for the tire, I would have to come up with something. One thing was for sure, I wouldn't leave the HPD without my Green Dart.
So 2 things that need to be done. Find the keys for Green Dart and fixing the tire. So let's try to get the marker.
Hey, Wheelo, do you mind if I borrow this marker for a while?
What do you have to do?
I don't know why precisely. I might need it eventually.
I, on the contrary, may need it for work, so the answer is no.
Well, let's talk to
Hey,
him.
Wheelo.
Oh, it's just you.
Who else would it be?
A government inspector, maybe? They're everywhere these days.
We are the HPD, the last place a government inspector would check.
We work for justice, so we're all clean and spotless. Is that what you think?
Actually, if we're talking about being clean, that doesn't really apply anymore. Listen, it's you who has the keys to Green Dart, right?
Yes, the chief inspector entrusted their custody to me. Can you show me an identification document?
Wheelo, if you don't give me the keys to my Green Dart right now...
I'll make an exception to the rule.
Hey, where did the second key come from? That's not mine.
The keys were delivered to me as you see them, but if you want to fill out a complaint form...
I'll keep them this way. What the hell happened to my Green Dart?
The vehicle has a puncture on the front tire. Not only that, it's chained to a lamppost.
Do you have any idea who perpetrated this offense?
I don't have all the necessary evidence to make an assessment. Do you want to press charges?
It'd be a waste of time. Instead, do you know where there's a bike shop around here so I can buy a new tire?
There's one 5 blocks away from here, along the promenade.
It took me 2 hours just to get here from my house. I can't afford to lose the whole day. I'll manage some other way.
So we've got the keys and let's look for a way to fix the tire.
Have you got any spare chewing gum?
It depends. Who's asking?
The President of the United States.
Very funny. I might have some more, yes.
Well, perfect. That's exactly what I need.
Don't get any ideas. I'm done giving you things for free.
Come on. Stop talking nonsense and give me some gum.
Okay. Bring me the latest edition of Play Guy and maybe we can talk about it. What? I'm alone all day down here. I have to find some way to pass the time.
Looks like I might have to spend the day running errands for this paranoid. On the other side of the street is a newsstand. I better hurry up if I don't want to waste too much time.
So let's go the other way. And talk to the news agent.
Good morning, Didier.
Bonjour, détective.
You're still practicing your French, I see.
Je suis really French detective. How many times do I have to tell you?
Come on, cut the act. Just give me a copy of Play Guy, please.
Do you plan to pay this time?
Pay? You're particularly funny today, Didier.
I cannot extend you any more credit, detective. Your account has so many zeros that I struggle to read the total.
I refuse to pay even 1 penny to do Willow a favor.
On the other hand, Inspector Burton has left something paid for you.
Seamus is really funny. Was it my fault that Ramos was a mountain of a man?
That is all for now. See you soon, detective.
By the way, your fake pronunciation sucks.
So we've got a different news
That
magazine.
guy's sure muscles. Maybe want to start a diet based on chicken and salads.
And the magazine we want is this one, Play Guy.
It was an adult magazine. The rabbit with the glasses subtly suggested its intended purpose.
And let's talk to the Mason.
Hello.
How can I help you?
You're doing a really great job.
You can say that again, my friend. Nobody does grout work like this these days. Listen to old Tom. That's not just a wall, it is art.
If he could, that man would have exhibited his stuccoed wall in the Louvre of Paris, near the Mona Lisa. Is that magazine on the wall yours?
Of course it's mine. What a question.
Well, this is a very difficult situation to explain. In short, I urgently need that magazine.
I understood full well what kind of urgency we're talking about. But unfortunately, I have an urgency even greater than yours. Look at those soft curves, those gentle shades.
Please, let's not get into any details.
What are you suggesting? My urgency is art. I need that magazine as inspiration for my walls. So I can't give it to you. Go to the newsstand and buy a copy like everyone else.
Well, I tried asking politely. Now I'd have to graduate to cunningly stealing.
So, we have to do it another way. We will switch the covers of the magazines.
Yes, I would rapidly switch the covers so that the Mason wouldn't notice the disappearance of his magazine. Now I felt more at ease.
And now the cover is the same, but the magazine is modified, as you can see. And let's leave. And give it to Willow.
Here you are, you filthy pervert.
But these were not the kinds of pecs I really wanted to see.
Take the cover off, you idiot.
Oh, now I get it.
Don't get smart. Now, I want the chewing gum we agreed on.
Help yourself, but make sure you're not seen. It could look like attempted bribery.
So we have both the items. Let's use the chewing gum on Green Dart.
The chewing gum was exactly what I needed to fix the bike. I prayed it didn't stick to my gloves, or I'd have to spend half a day cleaning them. The chain remained the last obstacle to freedom, but fortunately, I had the keys with me.
And the last thing, use the keys.
What clumsy hands!
Or not.
I think I felt a twinge in my hand.
And you scored. What a shot!
Which physical law of the universe causes keys to inevitably fall inside the only manhole nearby? Opening the grate with bare hands was impossible. Besides, inside it seemed empty, so I imagined there must be a long drop beneath it. I saw no alternative. To recover the key, I would need to penetrate the sewers, but this would take time. I had already wasted too much. By then, the sun was almost setting. I decided to head out immediately, hoping not to miss the appointment. When I reached the place, the sun had already set. An old, desolate alley in West Miami. I didn't know what to expect yet. I had to move cautiously.
So let's enter the alley.
Damn cat.
And look at the homeless person.
Hey, are you okay? No answer. Not even a twitch or perceptible movement. Then I realized how things really were. The man wasn't breathing. What the?
Lazarus Bundy. Forgive this production, but I can't be with you in person for reasons beyond my control. The young Mulzberg's kidnapping is just the first piece of a complex puzzle, a plan which, if not stopped, threatens to drag all of us to our doom. I leave the responsibility in your hands, Detective. Kathrin Mulzberg must be found, and her kidnappers brought to justice. Look for my symbol.
I forced myself to interpret all this like a very bad joke. I failed. I started with the conviction to end my challenge with Ramos, and yet I found myself receiving a brand new one. The tone of that man suggested only determination, not a single trace of mockery, nor even a perceptible tremble. That guy really believed what he said. I immediately realized that he wasn't a mythomaniac. Racking my brain would have been useless, so I decided to go back home and sleep on it. Maybe the night would bring much-needed insight, and the next day I'd know what to do. As was happening more and more often, I hadn't slept much, and I almost had the feeling I dreamed everything. Had I really received a bloody challenge from a lunatic with a mask? I needed confirmation, and the HPD office seemed the best place to look for it. Today's Miami Harbinger. Who knows if it might suggest something interesting.
Let's look at the newspaper.
Father Verb, one of the most influential and controversial figures of our time. The Harbinger had even published the first page in color in his honor. Years before he had received the Nobel Prize for, I don't remember what reason. Then he disappeared from the scene. Apparently he had recently decided to return with a book attacking the project Alternative Sentence, launched by the United Nations a few years earlier. I didn't know much about it, but I suspected that soon everybody would be talking about it. The HPD refused to share their progress on the blowtorch investigation. It was standard procedure, initially maintaining absolute radio silence from the press, and then throw them a little bone in the days after. Unless Gwendolyn Pratt had an interest in the story, that snake would have been able to slip into Burton's office through the window just to get the scoop.
So there are 3 things we need to do.
I had to go to Mulzberg's mansion as soon as possible. To do that, I faced 2 problems. I had to convince Seamus Burton to give me access to the crime scene, and recover the keys that kept Green Dart imprisoned, which I accidentally dropped in the sewer. It would also be useful to visit the alley again, where, just a few hours before, I received the challenge. In the daylight, some new clue might emerge.
So, we need to get the keys from the sewer, visit the alley again, and go to the crime scene. And that's the end of this episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon.